Today's the topic of discussion. I'm not sure how many of you have joined my previous two sessions. In the first session, we talked about general things about lifestyle. What are lifestyle disorders? What is insulin resistance and how it translates into type 2 diabetes? In the second session, we discussed about one of the major factors which leads to all these lifestyle disorders, that is your diabetes. We talked about obesity actually. We talked about obesity, how it translates into lifestyle disorders. What is the difference between visceral fat, subcutaneous fat, how body responds to two different kind of fats? We talked about that. For the first session, there is no video, but for the second session, the video is available on YouTube if you guys want to see that. In today's session, we will talk about the general things, which is your calories, BMI, and TDEE. The flow of these sessions are basically to take you up to formulation of a proper diet chart and a workout planning. But before that, I want to touch base upon the basic things so that when I'm talking about planning a diet chart for your improving your lifestyle, you should be knowing about all these basic terms, that how to calculate BMR, how to calculate TDE, what do you understand by calories. Okay, so all these things we will talk now. Coming to the point that why we are talking about the calories, BMI, and TDE, and why these things are important, because see, these are the very basic things you will see around you on the fitter coach as well. You are seeing these things, but it's important to understand that what is the significance of all this, why we are talking about all this BMR, TD a lot, and why do we need to make sure. Okay, now first of all, let's come to the very basic thing. First of all is, what is calories? We will first of all understand the very basic term calories, and then we will move towards the other. Guys, please put yourself on mute.
All the participants, please request you to keep yourself on mute.
Okay. So calories is nothing, basically a term used for your energy in the body. It's a unit of your fuel is for your car. The diesel is for your car. The calories is for your body. It's basically the unit of energy which your body is consuming to run around in a day. Okay. You put up any or something, you will find out that at the back of it, there is written that it has certain calories. There is one nutrition chart or nutrition label written over the back of your particular food product, and there is 20 calories, 100 calories. What does it mean? That if you consume 100 grams or 100 ml of that particular product, you will get that much energy from it. Calories basically means energy. Joules, kilojoules is also a unit of energy, and on most of the products you will find it by the calories. Okay, both are basically the units of multiplication factor of both, but kilojoules or calories both are the units of energy. Okay, so why is it significant? Why calories in our body? Calories is something which is basically helps you in up and running throughout the day. Okay, for example, currently I'm talking to you. I need some energy to burn, basically, right? To energy. I'm getting it from burning certain calories inside my body. Your car basically goes from point A to point B. How it goes? It burns some B. Okay. Similarly, our body burns certain amount of calories so that we can do our work. Okay. And okay, tell me one thing, one simple point of time when you do not burn any calories inside your body. Do you burn calories throughout the day, or there is a point where you do not burn any calories inside your body?
We burn throughout the day, sir.
Throughout the day, yes.
We burn.
Yes, throughout the day we burn. Point why I asked this particular question, and what is the significance of burning throughout the day, and at what time do we burn less, at what time do we burn more? Okay, so now why this calories part is particularly very important to understand. This calories is basically, okay, in simple terms, this is your body and body's energy. Okay, what happens in your body? Your body has a certain capacity to burn calories in a day, amount of calories. Let's understand from a very simple example. Your car has a petrol tank capacity of 40 liters. Your capacity for your petrol tank is when you overfill it. If you will overfill this particular tank with extra 5 liters of petrol, what will happen? Spill over. It will come out of your petrol tank. Okay. What will happen if I underfill it? If I fill it only for 35, realizing that 35 liters, every car has a reserve fuel, right? Reserve tank. That basically gets touched at the end of your fuel tank. Your body, at the end of your particular consumption of fuel, your body utilizes that excess reserve fuel. What will happen after 35 liters? Your car will start utilizing your car will start utilizing that reserve fuel. What will happen once now it needs more petrol to run? Okay, let's see how it applies on our body. Every person has a requirement in a day. Okay, we will talk about the different factors, on what factors it depends, how this calorie requirement differ from one person to another. But if I am eating x plus 1 calories, what will happen? This plus 1, my body is not over outside. This will get, basically in a layman's term I have to talk about, it will spill over inside my body only. Okay, fat. That excess plus 1 amount of calories which I have taken is going to store in my body as fat than my body requires. What will happen if I take x minus 1? This basically we call it as a surplus. Technical term, this we call it as a than what my body requires. I am eating x minus 1. What will happen when I am eating x minus 1? There is a reserve fuel in my body. There is a reserve fuel, reserve fat of my body is basically the reserve fuel. My body will basically.
फिर से ऊंचा हो गया.
Dina, will you please put yourself on mute? Yes, this reserve fuel is basically the stored fat of my body. Now, my body will start utilizing this stored fat, and what will happen once my body will start utilizing stored fat when I am deficient? Drop down. Here, what will happen? My body is going to store excess fat. My weight was going up in surplus. That's why I am gaining fat. That's why I am getting lifestyle disorders. I am in a deficit. I am eating x minus 1 less calories. My body is utilizing. It is already utilizing my stored fat. What will happen? My weight will drop down. This is something which will help me to reduce my body fat percentage. Will help me to control my calories. Now the question arises: how do we define this x? What is this x? What is this total amount of calories that my body go for x plus 1, and when do I need to go for x minus 1? Another question is, for example, calorie requirement for a day for an individual. I am eating 2000 calories, that will be surplus, right? I am eating deficit. Okay, just a rough number I have given you guys. Now tell me, if my calorie requirement is 1800, even 800 is less than 1400 is less than 1800, and even 1700 is less than 1800. What do you think? Just as per your understanding, what do you think? Which number should I choose to go for my calories? Whatever your understanding of the calories is, that how low should I go for my calorie intake?
Sir, it depends on the goal. It depends on the goal. अगर fat
60
loss
to
करना है
700.
shit for 2 to 300 of our daily consuming उसमें.
I think slowly start करना चाहिए, मतलब 100 200 करके, that is how.
Yeah, 2 to 300 का deficit रहना चाहिए, right?
Okay.
If it's a deficit, then maybe 1700 or 1600. But if you are planning for gradual weight increase, I mean, as in gaining part, then maybe again plus 200.
Okay.
It
Anyone
has
with
to
the
be gradually.
opinion?
We can't drop it drastically.
Exactly. But anyone with the opinion 800 or 1000 is also good. And let's lose the fat first of all, and then we will see later. Anyone with the opinion?
So no, I think उसमें फिर weight gain बहुत जल्दी हो जाएगा. अगर हम कम तो कर लेंगे, वो sustainable नहीं रहेगा.
We'll come to that part. वो मैं explain करूँगा वो कैसे decide करते हैं. But anyone with the opinion that 800 1000 is also not wrong.
I think like this कि लोग जाते हैं, मतलब I think I am planning to go to probably 1200.
ठीक है.
पता नहीं.
I'll explain. Amit, I'll explain this thing. Just hold this thought. I'll come back to you again with this question. Okay, fine. See, even you will lose weight on 800, you will lose weight on 1000, you will lose weight on 1400, you will lose weight on 1700. Then remember this question because I will be coming back to this particular question again, so you will be able to relate to it. That when we have multiple options, how do we decide which calories where to start? Okay. Now coming to the particular point where we need to understand first of all what is BMR, what is TDEE. Okay. Before I go on to BMR and TDEE, there is one basically simple terms which we usually use to understand our this thing, our health status, which is your BMI. Okay. Can anyone tell me quickly what is BMI? I don't want to waste time on the BMI. Just quickly tell me what is BMI.
Body mass index, sir.
Body mass index, how do you calculate it? Guys, quickly, BMI, I think सबको पता होना चाहिए, बचपन से हम लोग सिर्फ BMI से ही अभी तक हेल्थ स्टेटस कैलकुलेट कर रहे थे.
हाइट, वेट और
हाइट और वेट,
weight
चलो ठीक है. हाँ, there are two parameters only in the BMI, body mass index में, height and weight. Okay. Do you think body fat percentage is anywhere mentioned here in height and weight here? Do you think body fat percentage is mentioned anywhere in height and weight? Yes or no?
No.
No, no.
Do you think there are two people who are 75 kgs of weight? Okay. 5'7" height. One can be muscular and one can be basically obese. Or not the obese, but one can be muscular and one can have a body fat percentage of 30%.
Yes.
Guys, please put yourself on mute. Please put yourself on mute if you're not answering.
Skinny abuse, skinny obese भी हो सकता है सर, ऐसा मैंने भी
skinny obese,
senior.
that's what I'm saying ना, कि is it possible a person, two person with the same weight and same height can have a different body parameters? One is very muscular and another one has basically belly fat. Is it possible?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, it is
So
quite possible. I mean, if I look at my daughter,
So
she was
BMR also
obese at the
changes.
current weight which she is at today. And I mean, obese like almost 2 years back. But today she has reduced, her inches have reduced. She's more muscular. And she's still
that's for
maintaining
body
the same weight.
recomposition. Yes, that's for body
Yeah.
recomposition, that she has lost a lot of body fat percentage, gained muscle, maintaining same weight.
Yeah.
Now, in both
Yes.
these cases, BMI will almost be same. Now, if I am talking about the BMI, both these person will stand at the same health status for a layman. But we people understand more in deeply about the fitness, so we know that no, these two people are not same. One is basically a lifter. That particular person has a higher lean muscle mass. Another one is basically a person who is sedentary, has more of a body fat percentage. A person on the right side is someone who needs to work upon his lifestyle. A person on the left side is basically who we consider as a fit and a healthy individual. So BMI is obviously not the right approach to look at the health status. That's why there are many opposing theories against the BMI these days, because BMI is basically, it's a good starting point for a layman to understand, because not everyone understands body fat percentage. Okay, but if you go in depth into these concepts, BMI does not work that well. BMI is not a right criteria to look for your health status. Okay, we need to look beyond it, and body fat percentage is something where we need to focus upon. Now let's come to the first term for the day, which is your BMR. What is your BMR? BMR, the definition of BMR is, I'll go into a very basic definition which you will never forget. Okay, but the meaning of BMR is basal metabolic rate. Okay, basal metabolic rate, it means when your body is at a complete rest. Okay, let's understand like this. You can for example, your car is standing at a certain point and you switch off your car, switch off the car engine. It will not burn any petrol or diesel, right? It will not burn any amount of petrol or diesel, but you switch it on, but you are standing still at one particular point. You switch on your car engine, but you stand still at one particular point. Even the AC is not working for that car, nothing is working, but you are just standing in that particular car for a certain point. Do you think it will burn a certain amount of petrol or diesel or not? If the car engine is switched on, but it is not moving, will it burn any petrol, diesel or not?
Yes.
The amount of petrol, diesel it will burn when in a standing position will be more or less compared to when it is running.
It will be less.
Less.
It will be less, right? So now what is happening basically, your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, is the minimum amount of your calories which your body is burning at a resting stage. This is the minimum amount of your calories your body is burning at the resting stage of your body. See, car engine you can switch off. The machine you can switch off, it will not burn any petrol or diesel. Okay, you cannot switch off your body. Your body is always up and running. That's why I asked that question, that do you think your body burn calories throughout the day or does it stop at any particular time? It burns throughout the day. But when it is running at the maximum resting state of your body, that is called your basal metabolic rate. What is the resting state of my body? What time? What do you think is the resting state? My body is at rest when it is burning this minimum amount of calories.
So while sleeping, maybe sleeping and
while sleeping.
breathing.
Yes, exactly.
Breathing.
While sleeping. Why? Because when you are sleeping, you are not moving around, but you are breathing. Your heart is pumping blood. Your lungs are working. There is a blood flow which is happening inside your body. Okay. Your brain is working. Your internal organs are working. They are working at their least capacity at that particular time. Okay. I am currently talking to you. My breathing rate is comparatively high. I am working out in the gym. My heart rate is going high. My heart is functioning more at that particular time. The blood is flowing inside my body with a rush. At the resting state, these things are not working that aggressively. They're working at their least minimum capacity or requirement. But yes, they are working. And how do they work? They will burn certain amount of calories. Okay, because something or the other machine is working inside my body, so it will need certain calories. That calories is your basal metabolic rate, the minimum amount of calorie that is required to run your body. Okay, that is the minimum requirement for your body to run. Just give me a second. I'll come back to the question. I'll open for the Q&A in 2 minutes. Just let me complete this. Then I'll come back to this. Now, on what particular factor this BMR will depend? BMR will depend upon a particular factor of your age, height, weight, gender. These are the major 4 factors on which your BMR will depend. Okay. There are certain formulas. I'm not going into the formula, that is irrelevant for you guys to know. Just focus upon the BMR calculators and TDEE calculators you find online or on the Fitter app also. Okay, you can easily calculate your BMR and TDEE because that's a very scientific way. But scientists have developed a way to calculate a BMR and TDEE for an individual. That okay, boss, this is the amount of minimum calories that your body requires. This is something which you should be eating if you want to have a normal functioning of your body even at the resting stage. With the age, it will vary. Then because as per the height of the individual, as per the weight of the individual, as per the gender of an individual. For the male body, it's a different. For female body, it's different. Okay. These 4 factors will decide that what is your BMR. Now, just imagine if my BMR for an individual A is coming out to be 1500. Now, I am asking that particular question again, whether I should go for 800 calories, 1000 calories, 1200 calories to lose weight. Do you think I should go for that those many calories?
एक बार repeat करेंगे ये वाला दोबारा से, sorry.
क्या particular part?
यही I mean just before the question what you explained.
ठीक है. So basically BMR is something which is dependent upon multiple factors. There are 4 factors which we take into consideration. So age, height, weight and the gender of an individual. Whatever the formulas you will see, okay, whatever the formulas you see, the equations the scientists have developed, you will see that they have different parameters which you need to enter into it. Some values will always be constant. There are certain variable values they will ask for, and these four are the variable values you need to put into that, and as per the particular number your BMR will come out, your basal metabolic rate will come out. And now the question was that if your after that particular calculation from the formula your BMR comes out to be 1500. Now I am asking that question again which I was asking before, that if you want to go for 800 calories to lose weight, or Amit you were mentioning about that you are planning to go for 1200 calories, or someone who is planning to go for 1400 calories, for an individual, I am talking about an individual particularly who has 1500 BMR, do you think going for 800, 1000 or 1100 calories make any sense?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir. Because bare minimum requirement for his body is 1500. तो उसको 1500 तो खानी चाहिए.
Exactly. Amit, what's your view?
But sir, जैसे अभी for example somebody is preparing for something and you know results quickly चाहिए और वो given time period के अंदर चाहिए. I think यही these are the mistakes generally ones do.
Coming to the right part, these are the mistakes. ठीक है. See, first of all, we are not talking about the comp prep or anything. Okay, वो थोड़ा different science हो जाता है बिल्कुल. We are talking about the general fitness. Okay. Second thing is, yes, that's a mistake which most of the people do, that going on a very low calorie diet to basically lose weight. What will happen when you go low below the BMR? Your body, that's a basic minimum requirement for your body to burn calories. Now imagine you are not even eating those many calories. The reason you feel lazy or lethargy during your routine, during your day, why? Because body is not getting enough calories. You start getting severe hair loss, you start getting acne issues, your immunity is dropped. Okay, you start getting frequent infections, your skin quality is degrading, you start having disturbed sleep. Why? Because you're not getting enough energy, at least minimum energy to your body. That should be basically important to keep you up and running in a general state. Forget about the weight loss, forget about the rebound, वो सारी बात की बातें हैं, वो कल देखा जाएगा जब होगा. But current situation may be you won't be able to sustain that routine for a longer period of time. So that is something we need to take care of, that don't go below your BMR at a in your journey. Okay. Now coming to the second part of this particular thing, equation, which is your, everyone clear about BMR? Anyone has any doubt on BMR or calories till now?
I have one question.
Yes, Ram.
So if we have gone throughout the day with heavy activity and then we are resting for the day, will the BMR be different on the day compared to the other days where we had minimal activity?
No. So BMR, the thing that will be different will be TDEE. You will understand it how, which I am going to cover. BMR is basically more or less a constant at a particular time and to a certain time extent. When we lose a huge amount of weight, or for example, because it depends upon your age is not changing, your height is not changing, your gender is not changing. What is changing is your weight. Today I am at 70 kgs, my BMR will be X. Tomorrow when I lose weight, maybe up to 65, 66, 64, it might not change more. Okay, maybe 10-15 units here and there. But when I am going up to 60 kgs, there is a difference of 8 to 10 kgs. Then my BMR might change. My BMR, because now my body structure is small, my body fat percentage is less. Now my body will require less amount of calories to keep me up and running. Okay, my organs will work more efficiently on a less amount of calories as well. It's as simple as that. The kind of a petrol you, the kind of a amount of petrol you need for to run a Fortuner will be obviously different from what you needed for an Alto or a Maruti Suzuki 800. Why? Because the engine is small. The requirement is small. That SUV car, a big engine, a huge engine, requires more amount of petrol. That's why their mileage is less. So smaller the engine, like I am 60 kgs right now, I am more efficient right now compared to what I was before, so my BMR is going to reduce now comparatively.
Yeah,
Clear?
but there is a little difference in the way resting a car and resting a body, right? If you switch off the car, nothing will happen. But if you rest body, still be working internally.
You cannot switch off the body. The body of the switching of the body means it's the end of life.
So does the body doesn't work more to recover if you had a full lot of physical activity throughout the day when we are resting?
Sorry, I did not understand the question.
So on a day when we had too much of a physical activity,
yes,
and when we are resting in the night, does the body doesn't need more calories to maintain the activity within the body?
So see, basically your body, what it will need more calories. From where it will get the calories? Okay, you tell me, you are basically doing X amount of work in a day and your calorie intake was X minus 1, right? From where will you get the rest of the calories?
No, that is where like it will utilize the
stored fat, right? That's how you will lose weight. That's how you will lose weight, because your body will use calories.
Yeah, but my question was a little different, where BMR will whether stay constant throughout the day.
BMR will stay consistent. BMR will stay consistent. That's why we focus
because
a lot
upon the
sleep.
Calories. Yeah,
Yes,
that is the minimum calories required to maintain the body.
Calories. Yes, that is the minimum calories. Your BMR will remain constant.
Yeah, if you are resting also, will the minimum calorie required to maintain the body?
You're resting also. Yes, you're at when the time you're resting, your BMR will remain the constant, but the excess amount of calories that your body need to repair and recover your muscle mass that will come from your stored fat if you do not have taken enough food in the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, I have one question. So what is the difference between body fat and BMI? Like कैसे उसको हम differentiate करते हैं?
Body fat is a complete, see, BMI is only focusing upon two factors, your height and weight, the ratio of your height and weight. It is not taking body fat into consideration. Body fat is basically, like for example, currently I am 63 kg right now and my body fat somewhere around 10%. So that is your body fat percentage, that this is your body, out of your 63 kg, 10% is something which is my body fat. Rest of it is the weight of my bones, my organs, my muscle mass, water weight. So that is body fat percentage. BMI is taking into consideration only two things, ratio of height and weight. Simple, कोई उसके अंदर झंझट नहीं है. Height and weight डाला आपने, आपका BMI निकल गया. चार्ट में आपने देखा, you are into a healthy category or an unhealthy category. That's it.
Okay. And sir, BMR में जैसे difference, like जितना हमारा weight कम है उतना BMR हमारा कम रहता है. Like what is a healthy BMR we can say, मतलब इसमें रहता है कि
BMR ऐसे कुछ नहीं, healthy BMR कुछ नहीं होता. Health in today's term, health is related to your body fat percentage, your lean muscle mass, your heart rate, your health markers and multiple factors. There is nothing we can pinpoint कि अगर ये है तो आपका healthy state में.
Like हमारा जितना weight कम होगा तो हमारा BMR उतना कम होगा, right?
जितना body weight आपका light है उतना आपका, क्योंकि your body is more efficiently working right now, right? It needs less amount of calories to maintain you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Indra is mentioning I was at less calories when I was 74 than now when I am 57. So if my weight has come down, my BMI should be less than when I was 74. Indra, just hold this thought. At the end of this session, I will answer your question. It's a good question. I'll explain it, how it works. I'll give you an example of one of my clients as well. Okay. Now coming to the second part, which is your TDEE. TDEE is Total Daily Energy Expenditure. Total Daily Energy Expenditure. It's self-explanatory. It means how much amount of calories I am burning throughout the day. BMR I was talking about when we are in the resting stage. Okay, when I am basically in a resting state, or specifically, to be more specific, when I am sleeping in the night. The moment I got up from my bed in the morning and to the moment I am going back to my bed, entire day whatever I am doing is basically a part of your TDEE, which is Total Daily Energy Expenditure. TDEE. Okay. Currently I am talking to you guys. You are listening to me. You are doing certain kind of an activity. We are applying our brains. We are talking. We are moving our hands. Everything we are doing is basically a part of TDEE. Okay. There are 4 parts of TDEE. One we have already covered. Rest of the 3 I will discuss. The one which we have covered is your BMR. BMR is also a part of TDEE. Why it is a part of TDEE? Because what does it mean? Total daily energy. This is also an energy I am burning in during the night, right, at the resting stage. So it's a total daily energy expense. So BMR will also be a part of TDEE. It is not separate from TDEE. It's a minimum requirement that my body needs. It is the maximum my body burning in a day. Second part of TDEE is EAT. EAT basically means exercise, activity, thermogenesis. As simple as that, just not to confuse you, is your workout. Thermogenesis basically means the way my calories, the way my body is burning calories. Okay, my body is producing heat, means burning calories. That's called thermogenesis. Exercise, activity, thermogenesis. Another one comes is your need. Need basically means non-exercise, activity, thermogenesis. Whatever the activity which I am doing apart from my workout is your need. NEAT, need, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Last one is your TEF. TEF means thermic effect of food. Okay. Thermic effect of food. I will explain this thing in detail. Before this, we will talk about eat and need. The major difference between eat and need is eat is a planned activity. Whatever planned activity you are doing in a day to burn your calories comes under eat. Whatever unplanned activities we do that will help me to burn my calories comes under need. Okay. Now the question arises. Currently, I am taking this particular session. Okay. I am moving around in this room right now. Okay. I will be doing maybe, for example, 500, 600 because obviously I am moving within this space only, but might be doing some 500, 700 steps. So it means I am burning certain amount of calories. Will this come under eat or will this come under need? Quickly.
Need.
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 Neat.
Eat.
Why?
Sir,
Why?
ये
Someone
eat
said
के
eat.
अंतर्गत
Wait,
आएगा.
wait.
Eat.
Someone said eat. Okay, tell me eat. Why
Even
eat?
walking inside the room also is a form of exercise. Whenever your body is moving, that is an exercise. It's not just about no lifting weights or like doing cardio. Even small movements by the body is exercise.
Okay, I'll come back to this again. Yes, Amit, you mentioned eat, right? Tell me.
सर आप ये सारी चीजें बिल्कुल स्टेशनरी खड़े होके भी समझा सकते थे. व्हेन यू आर मूविंग इंटेंशनली कि यार मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा मूव करते रहता हूँ, तो मतलब जैसे सपोज हम फोन कॉल ले रहे हैं, लाइक फोन कॉल लेते लेते somebody intentionally started moving, so that is not neat because it is intentional, so that is why it is eat.
Okay, anyone with an opinion need and why?
I say it as need because many of times if you are walking, you are not planning for that. Like suddenly you have to do something, you move out. So it's not a planned activity, and it's something that happens throughout the day with you. So you don't mind that like this time like I moved here and like you are not counting your steps as well.
Yeah.
So it just happens like that.
Yes. So, see, Shalu, you are absolutely right that obviously when we are walking inside the room, it's a certain kind of an activity. Amit, you are also right that obviously I can do it while standing stationary. Although I have major issues while standing stationary, I cannot sit around or stand around for a long time. I need to move around. But yes, Ram, as you rightly mentioned, it's an unplanned activity. Amit or Shalu, I did not target this thing that I will move for maybe 500 steps in this particular session, or I did not target that I will move for 1000 steps. It's not planned for me. I may be doing, that's why I mentioned in the initial, I may be doing 500 steps, 700 or 800. You set up a target. Shalu, the thing you mentioned was absolutely right. I set up a target for 10k steps in a day. That is my eat. I do majority of my step counts within my room only while taking calls. Around 7 to 8,000 I completed within my room around my bed only. I am not saying it's not an exercise or it's not an activity, but that's a planned activity for me because I make sure that I do 10k steps in a day. Okay, but currently what I am doing, it's not a planned activity. I'm not targeting any set of number of steps over here. I am just trying to stay active. That's it. For example, you are doing daily chores at home. Okay, someone is basically going down to get the groceries from the shop. Someone is going basically 500 meters walk to buy something. That's not a planned activity. Just because, as Ram mentioned, just because you want to stay active, that's why you are doing that particular activity, but you did not plan for it. This is what we say that it's a need. You are trying to increase your need levels, non-exercise activity levels. That's something which is not a plan. अभी किसी दोस्त ने फोन किया कि नीचे आ जा, तो मैं लिफ्ट नहीं लूंगा, मैं 4 फ्लोर नीचे उतर के जाता हूं. That's basically need. I am definitely doing certain activity. I am burning calories, but that's an unplanned activity. But if I am going for my 10k steps in a day, that's a planned activity. I am going for my 1 hour workout, that's a planned activity. I am going to play badminton, that's my planned activity. So there is a difference between eat and need. And again, coming to the point, why this particular thing is important. Eat is something which is basically a limited activity. You cannot target I will do 25,000 steps every day. You cannot target I will do 30,000 steps every day. You cannot target I will play for 4 hours this every day, or I'll go for basically 3 hours of gym workout. This is something. Eat or a planned activity will always be a limited activity. You will be working out in the gym for maybe 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. You might be doing 10K, 15K steps every day. You might be going for your badminton or swimming maybe 1 hour or 2 hours in a day. But this will be unplanned. This planned activity is always limited. So this is a limiting factor in your journey. This is a limiting factor in your journey. Need is something which is unlimited. I can walk around throughout the day I am feeling I'm going for a shopping. I can walk around throughout the day. My need levels will be at peak. I might be completing 40,000 steps in a day, but that is only for that particular day. Okay. I'm basically for example, my maid is on leave. I have to clean my house. I have to do all the jhadu pocha and clean my utensils. For that particular day, my need levels are high. Why? Because I am doing that particular activity on that particular day only when I have to. My need levels are something which is basically becomes a very important deciding factor in the journey at times, because this is a limiting factor. You cannot keep on working out, going out for a walk or keep on lifting weight, but you can increase your need level always high. That's why I always focus upon increasing the need level to my client. That, like someone mentioned, that just walk around when you are taking the calls. That's the most simplest way of increasing your need levels. Okay, this I have been doing for the last many years, and this is something which has helped me a lot in increasing my step counts, or helping me burn more calories. Because people who have a who are basically on the calls, just stand up and walk around. Just stand up and walk around. You're burning certain calories. Your job is also getting done. Okay, so need levels are something which is basically a factor which you can actually exceed by huge numbers depending upon if you have time. If you do not have time, you might be doing it less. Okay, so this is an unplanned activity. Eat and need. Everyone clear here?
Yes, sir.
Guys, any doubt? Shalu, Amit, any doubt? Eat or need?
I can
Clear,
relate to my
clear.
recent
No, it's clear.
recent
Yes, yes.
activity.
Very clear.
I can relate to my recent activity. Every day I struggle to do 10K steps due to time and all. But recently we shifted home. So unknowingly on that day I made 18K steps. I didn't realize I made 18K steps.
Yeah, so see, there are at times you won't even realize that how many steps you have done, and by the end of the day, you will watch, you'll see your watch, and you'll see that if you have exceeded more than 15, 18K, it happens. This is something an unplanned activity, na, so it's always mentally also you always stay relaxed. If you set up a target for 10K, it will bother you by the night if your 10K are not completed. But at times you will be able to complete 15K, and you are not even as stressed out as you were doing, as you were at the time of 10K. So it always helps. Now coming to the last particular factor, which is your TEF, thermic effect of food. Whenever you eat something, okay, whenever you eat something, there is a complex digestion process which goes inside your body. At that particular complex process, your body burns a certain amount of calories, because it's a chemical reaction which is happening right inside your body. So obviously there will be certain amount of energy dispense which is going to happen. So your body is spending certain amount of energy to digest that particular food so that it can produce more energy. Okay, so that particular calorie expense which is happening to digest certain amount of food, that is called your thermic effect of food. Thermic basically means producing heat. Producing heat basically means burning calories. So this thermic effect of food is nothing but the calories which are getting which are basically burning at the time of your digestion of your particular food. Just a random query, you might or might not be knowing. Out of protein, carbs, and fat, which one do you think has the highest thermic effect of food?
Protein.
Fats.
Fats. Fats.
Someone mentioned protein. Someone mentioned protein.
Protein.
It's actually protein. It's actually protein, and that's why you don't feel hungry when you are on a high protein meal. Your stomach is always full when you're on a high protein meal. The protein structure is much more complex to break down. That's why your body burns more amount of calories to break protein. That's why when you're a high protein meal, you always burn more calories. You always feel satiety for the longer period of time. And that's why even if you see any random diet chart, which is a very low calorie diet chart of 800, 900 calories, you will see people fill that particular plate with a high amount of protein. Why? The reason for your muscle building and everything is a different theory. Let's not go there, Abhi. We'll stick to all these factors only, because that amount of protein will help you to stay full for a longer period of time. That's why. And this TEF is a very limited factor. You can manipulate it a little bit. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने अपनी प्लेट पूरी प्रोटीन से डाल दी, प्रोटीन से फिल कर ली है और तो मेरा फैट बर्न बहुत पीक पे चला जाएगा, बिकॉज मेरा थर्मिक इफेक्ट ऑफ फूड बहुत वैल्यू से इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. इट्स अ रोल ऑफ 2-3% ओनली. ठीक है, 2-3% का खेल है यहाँ पे, सिर्फ इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है. तो मतलब जो डिफरेंस आएगा, तो अगेन TEF becomes a limited factor. TEF is not something which is basically going to do a major changes in your TTEE. It's a limiting factor. So your BMR is a limiting factor, your EAT is a limiting factor, but a very important one, your TEF is a limiting factor. What comes down to a factor which can increase your TTEE is a need. Becomes an important factor over here. After EAT, it becomes a very important factor. Everyone clear till here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now, how do we know what is my TDE? In the calculators, you will see that your calculators always focus upon very simple formula: BMR into a certain physical activity factor. This physical activity factor basically depends upon how active you are. For example, you go and you open the Fitter app right now, you will see that in the BMR calculator there is a certain values that is asking. In TDE calculator, it will ask you that how much active you are. You work out once in a week, you work out 2 to 3 times in a week, you work out 3 to 4, you work out 4 to 5, how intense your workout is. Depending upon that, scientists have given a certain value to it. That, for example, random, I don't remember it because it's been a while that I have used. I have sit down on a calculator to calculate. Okay, I obviously put the data into the app, I get the BMI and TD, so it's always easy. That's why I'm saying just focus upon the concept and not into details ki wo factor kya hota hai. Let's say, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. The scientists have given a certain number to that particular activity ki itni activity karte ho to aapka physical activity factor 1 hai. You are doing that much activity, it's 2. You are doing very intense workout for 3 to 5 days in a week, it is 4. Now you multiply your BMR with the 4, you will get your TDE. Your BMR was X, your TDE comes out to be Y. It is X into 4, it is giving you Y, which is your TDEE. That's how you calculate in the simplest way your TDEE. Okay. But now the question arises on what particular factors. This is a very simple way. It is just to make things very simple, not complex, not complicated for the general layman to understand. But now the question arises: do you think TDE depends upon only that particular factor, or there are other factors on which TDE will depend? Just I'm giving you 30 seconds. Don't answer randomly. Giving you 30 seconds. I have explained you on what particular factors all these things depend. What are the 4 things which are important for TDEE? Give it 30 seconds. Just give a quick thought and tell me on what particular factors do you think TDE will depend. Like BMR depend करता है age, height, weight, gender. Simple. कोई उसके अंदर कंफ्यूजन नहीं है. TDE किस फैक्टर्स पे डिपेंड करेगा? Give it a thought and tell me.
All of it need TEF.
नहीं वो तो सबके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा, वो तो इसका कॉम्पोजिशन है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द जनरल फैक्टर्स. जनरल फैक्टर्स
कितना मसल है.
एक सेकंड, वेट गाइस. जैसे बीएमआर एज, हाइट, वेट, जेंडर पे करता है ना, ऐसे टीडीई इन किन चीजों के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा?
वेट और मसल मास.
वेट, एज, एक्टिविटी लेवल
कितना है शायद.
कुछ तो ट्राई करो. एज, हाइट, वेट तो बीएमआर में भी आ रही है, उसके अलावा
मेजरली नीट पे करेगा, क्योंकि जितना
नीट पे तो करेगा. उसके आई एम आस्किंग
Other
अबाउट
than
body fat percentage.
okay, apart from those 4. Okay.
gender, muscle mass,
muscle mass, body fat percentage. Okay, anything else?
जेंडर.
Sleep?
जेंडर पे तो बीएमआर
No,
डिपेंड
I
कर गया ना, वो
think
तो बीएमआर में कवर हो गया. ओके, I'll start
जेंडर
answering.
नहीं आएगा.
Vatsala, you
sleep.
answer. Vatsala,
मैंने कहा टीडी में जेंडर नहीं आएगा.
नहीं आएगा जेंडर, क्यों नहीं आएगा? बीएमआर में जेंडर आ रहा है ना, बीएमआर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ
नहीं
योर
नहीं, बीएमआर में
टीडीडब्ल्यू.
आएगा, टीडी में नहीं आएगा ना.
अरे बीएमआर इज अंडर टीडी ना,
हमारा
टीडी इज
TD,
अम्ब्रेला
हाँ,
टर्म, टीडी इज अम्ब्रेला, उसके अंडर में बीएमआर
बट
आ रहा है,
जेंडर
बीएमआर में
कैसे
जेंडर
आएगा?
आ रहा है. आएगा क्यों नहीं आएगा? जब आपका जेंडर के बेसिस पे बीएमआर चेंज हो गया, तो बीएमआर चेंज होते तो टीडीडब्ल्यू भी चेंज हो गया ना, तो डायरेक्ट
ओके ओके
रिलेशन हुआ
ओके,
ना.
राइट राइट राइट.
अच्छा, okay, tell me all these things, whether these things will affect your TDEE or not. Stress, इससे TDEE चेंज होगा?
स्ट्रेस,
Diet.
यस
लेकिन
यस,
weight में हाँ
बिल्कुल होगा सर,
How-
बिल्कुल होगा.
how
बिल्कुल
stress
होगा.
है?
स्ट्रेस
जितना
से तो
ज्यादा
बहुत
स्ट्रेस
ज्यादा
होगा,
होगा. अभी रिसेंटली हुआ मेरे साथ बहुत जबरदस्त डिजीज,
हाँ.
इलनेस.
Outside environmental factors, बाहर बारिश हो रही है, चलने नहीं जा सकते.
तो घर में चलेंगे.
humid
वो क्यों
weather,
होगा? वो तो घर में चलेंगे, वो क्यों होगा?
भाई कुछ भी ले आओ.
Wait, I'm telling
Body,
you कि क्यों क्यों ये
body
इन
will
चीजों
adjust
से.
to itself.
Wait, I'll
humid
tell you.
weather होगा तो सही. yes,
ठीक है. Sleep करेगा इस पे फर्क?
स्लीप,
Tired.
yes
यस
sir.
हार्मोन्स,
यस.
No, I think.
नो.
यस यस,
अगर आपके बॉडी में हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंसेस हैं तो टीडीई फर्क, डिफरेंस आएगा नहीं आएगा टीडीई में?
बिल्कुल फर्क आएगा.
क्यों
आएगा
आएगा
sir,
सर?
आएगा.
क्यों
Yes.
आएगा?
इवन एज का भी फर्क, एज से भी फर्क आता है, राइट? इफ आई
देखो,
एम नॉट रॉन्ग.
एज, हाइट, वेट और जेंडर तो बीएमआर में कवर हो गए, तो वो चीज तो वैसे ही हो गई ना कवर.
ओके, राइट.
सर वैसे
हाँ, तो
BMR
हार्मोन
में
आएगा.
हमारे ये सभी इन्वॉल्व होगा ना सर?
क्या?
लाइक हार्मोन इम्बैलेंस कुछ भी है BMR में आएगा ना सब कुछ?
नहीं, हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंस बीएमआर में क्यों आएगा?
क्योंकि हमारी बॉडी को कितना चाहिए जब हम स्लीप करते हैं, तभी भी इम्बैलेंस होगा ना body में?
बीएमआर इज नॉट गोइंग टू मेजरली अफेक्टेड. बहुत बहुत माइनर इंपैक्ट होगा. मेजर इंपैक्ट होगा आपके पूरे दिन की कैलोरीज कितनी बर्न हो रही है, क्योंकि आपकी बॉडी हार्मोन, अगर आपका बॉडी में हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंस है, फॉर एग्जांपल पीपल हु हैव थायराइड इश्यूज, मेटाबॉलिज्म अफेक्ट होता है, उसमें नहीं होता.
बिल्कुल
होता है.
बिल्कुल होता है. इवन
तो आपका
प्रीमेनोपॉज,
TDEE फिर
वो
प्रीमेनोपॉज,
प्रीमेनोपॉजल में
कांस्टेंट
होता
होता
है.
है.
अगेन प्रीमेनोपॉज टीडी इफेक्ट होगा आपका. ठीक है.
राइट.
Periods पे भी.
your body fat percentage, your muscle mass, okay,
Sir,
everything you can.
mental health issues like anorexia or bulimia, they could also affect.
So wo I have covered that basically in the stress, but yes, every mental health disorder basically everything related to your mental health will also affect. So just to give you, जब किसी ने बोला ना कि कुछ भी ले आओ ऐसे, तो actually में TDE depends upon कुछ भी. Whatever which is happening inside and outside your body is going to impact your TDEE. It is going to impact your TDEE. It depends upon multiple of factors, and everything comes under the same umbrella. Okay, that it is going to impact. Your BMR is not going to impact it much. बहुत माइनर से इम्पैक्ट होगा उसके ऊपर, बट योर टीडी इज गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट अ लॉट विद द अराउंड द मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स. जिसके अंदर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर होता है स्लीप एंड स्ट्रेस. अगर स्लीप ठीक कर ली, आपका स्ट्रेस लेवल कम हो गए, तो टीडी बहुत आपका जो है ना स्टेबल रहेगा, या एनर्जी बन आपका रहेगा. बट स्टिल एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स क्यों नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा? बाहर अगर आपका ह्यूमिड वेदर हो रहा है, पीपल हु आर लिविंग इन कनाडा, just ask them, at least 6 months of their time they are staying under the complete snow. इतना ज्यादा स्ट्रेस आउट एनवायरनमेंट होता है, घर में भी कितना चल लोगे, कितना मूव अराउंड कर लेंगे घर के अंदर, घर के बाहर नहीं जा सकते हैं, क्योंकि एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर इतने ज्यादा खराब हो रखे हैं कि वो घर में बैठे बैठे डिप्रेस हो जाते हैं. So it will impact everything which you can think of outside or inside your body is happening. It is going to impact your TD. So now the main question arises, जो हमने BMR into physical activity से कैलकुलेट किया फैक्टर, क्या वो जो वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करी, क्या वो करेक्ट थी या इनकरेक्ट थी? जो मैंने बीएमआर इनटू फिजिकल एक्टिविटी फैक्टर से कैलकुलेट की थी वैल्यू, वो करेक्ट थी या इनकरेक्ट थी?
Incorrect.
एक्यूरेट नहीं थी वो,
Incorrect है sir.
अप्रोक्सीमेटली आता है उसमें, मतलब बहुत एक्यूरेट नहीं आएगा
Anyone else? Anyone
नहीं
else
sir,
wants to
incorrect
try
है.
कि incorrect थी? क्यों incorrect
It
थी?
will not
तो
be accurate. It might be a bit reference के लिए ले सकते हैं, but since there are so many other
बिकॉज
factors
सर आपने
coming
अभी
in,
जैसे बोला एनवायरमेंटल वो है, जैसे
environmental
ह्यूमिड वेदर
factor,
है, आप
hormonal,
ह्यूमिड वेदर में
correct.
आप बाहर नहीं जा रहे हो वॉक करने।
one person. Yes. हाँ.
कैन आई से सर,
Yeah,
लाइक ह्यूमिड
please.
वेदर है, वी आर नॉट गोइंग आउट फॉर अ वॉक, सो हमारे स्टेप काउंट कम होंगे, स्ट्रेस होगा, नींद नहीं आएगी, तो उससे भी फर्क पड़ेगा ना सर। वॉक नहीं की, आपकी एक्टिविटी लेवल अच्छी नहीं है, तो आप थके नहीं हो, तो आपको साउंड स्लीप नहीं आएगा।
Good. What's you were saying something?
I say it is still valid into physical activity, still valid, because whatever it may be, whether you are sleeping or whether you are stressed out or whether you are walking or not able to walk, it's some more or less related to what your body is going through, and that somewhere comes under the physical activity only, where you can calculate based on how much energy needed to do that kind of activity. Even if you are stressed out,
Except hormonal
there's something going
imbalances.
within your body which needed some energy expenditure.
Okay.
That's why I feel still into physical activity.
Okay. What you want to add something more?
No.
Except the hormonal imbalances. I
Okay.
think weather
Now,
and all can come into the activity.
So what happens while we are calculating the TDE? Okay, Sumira has rightly mentioned in the comment section. It is giving you a tentative value. It is giving me a tentative value that okay, my TDEE is coming at Y. Why do we need this tentative value? We need a starting point for our diet. अभी मैं इतने सारे फैक्टर्स को कैसे कैलकुलेट करूं? मैं कैलकुलेटर में स्ट्रेस नहीं डाल सकता, मैं कैलकुलेटर में अपना थायराइड नहीं डाल सकता, मैं कैलकुलेटर में अपना स्लीपिंग आवर्स नहीं डाल सकता, क्योंकि वो पूछ ही नहीं रहा मेरे से। जो साइंटिस्ट ने the scientists which who have developed these equations, they have not taken these things into the factor. They have taken a very simple approach of calculating with so much of research, but they have not taken these things into the factors. अब ये सारे factors मैं कहाँ डालूंगा? कहीं नहीं है मेरे पास option. Okay, but now I have to start my diet from somewhere, right? Whether I want to go on the surplus or a deficit, what's the number? मेरे पास BMR तो आ गया कि मेरा BMR जो है 1800 है, but मेरा TDE नहीं पता मुझे। अब मेरा TDE नहीं पता तो मैं कितनी कैलोरी से स्टार्ट करूं, कहां से जाऊं, क्या करूंगा, अपना कहां से रूटीन चालू करूं? This number that BMR into physical activity will give me a tentative value, a starting point. This will give me a starting point that okay, with that physical activity level and everything, your TDE is, for example, coming at 2500. Now this 2500
समझ नहीं आया.
wait, कर रहा हूं, explain कर रहा हूं. This TDE, whatever the BMR you have gotten, BMR आपका एक वैल्यू आ चुकी है 1800, ठीक है, 1800 आपकी BMR की वैल्यू आ गई. But now I need a second set of value to start my calories, right? आपका TDEE टोटल डेली एनर्जी एक्सपेंडिचर है, BMR आपका मिनिमम कैलोरीज है, तो आपको अगर वेट लूज करना है, आपको कहां पे खाना है? बिटवीन योर BMR एंड योर TDEE. इन दोनों वैल्यूज के बीच में अगर आप खा रहे हो तो आप वेट लूज करोगे. इफ यू आर ईटिंग बिटवीन दीस टू वैल्यूज, यू आर लूजिंग वेट. My BMR is 1800, my TDEE is 2500. This is the range where I need to keep my calories to lose weight. If I start eating above 2500, I will start gaining weight because my body is burning 2500 calories. Okay, I will start gaining weight. I am eating less than 2500, I will start losing weight because if I am eating 2300 calories, I am keeping a deficit of 200. These excess 200 calories, from where my body will use this? From the reserve fat. From the reserve fat, my body will use these calories and complete 2500 for a day, and I will start dropping my body fat percentage. That's why this number is important to know. So अब ये number 2500 कैसे पहुंचेंगे इस पे? How do we know that this is the 2500 I need to keep? That my deficit should be 2300, 22 or 2100. Okay, we calculate the TDE from the formula BMR into the physical activity factor. We got this number 2500. Again, this number is not accurate. This number might or might not be accurate. This is a tentative value. This is a tentative value who has given us a starting point. Okay, understand it very clearly. This has given us a starting point that 2500 is my TDEE, 1800 is my BMR. Okay, let's start from 2000 calories and we will see. Now there are certain few of you are obviously I'm training right now, so you might be knowing that in the first week or 10 days when I started the diet chart, this is for everyone and this is for you specifically. For some people you can relate it now. I always tell to my clients, let's see how the body respond in the first week of the diet. Why we are checking this particular response? Why I am not saying कि okay 2000 calories start कर दिया, पूरे 15 दिन 20 दिन के बाद देखेंगे results क्या आ रहे हैं. If I have calculated 2500 with the calculator and I am starting with the 2000 calories diet chart, there is a possibility I am in a deficit. There is a possibility my actual body TDEE is 2000 only, because this was just a tentative value, not an accurate value. My body TDEE was actually 2000 depending upon all the factors which are going inside and outside my body. Or my TDEE is actually very less. It was maybe 1900 or 1800 and I start gaining weight on 2000 calories. This 2500 might be 2800 in the actual scenario. Actual scenario means your actual TDEE. This can be 2300, 2200, or this can be actually 2500. How we will get to know? We will put the person on a certain amount of calories, see it for a week or 10 days, and then see how the body's response is, how the person's body is responding. Okay, then we decide that okay, if the weight loss is right, whatever we are targeting, okay, if the weight loss is within that particular range, then the TDEE what we calculated is near about the same. Again, we are not looking for the exact value over here. If it is maybe in a if the weight is basically stable, there is a possibility we are close to our TDEE. If the weight started increasing, there is a possibility we are in the surplus. So we will change the diet accordingly. Always test your TDEE on the ground level. Exactly what is happening on the ground level, then you will be able to understand that okay, this is my TDEE. I'll give you my own example. As per the calculators, my TDEE usually with the different calculator, you will always see a different value. Under 200 इधर-उधर होती रहती है. I always see my TDEE between 2300 to 2500. Okay, because I usually maintain weight around 64-65 kg. This is not the recent one. Recently, my TDEE had decreased a lot. There was a time when my TDEE used to be 2300, 2500, but my actual TDEE was somewhere around 3800 to 4000. I used to eat 3800 to 4000 calories to maintain my weight. If I was eating somewhere around 2500 calories, I used to lose weight drastically. Okay, because my deficit is huge. But if I'm going by the calculator, my TDEE is 23-2500. Why my TDEE was so high? Like someone was mentioning that at 73 kgs I was requiring less calories, and at 57 kgs I am requiring more calories. The reason being your body composition. Your body composition has increased. You are maintaining a good amount of muscle mass now. So your body needs more amount of TDEE. Your BMR is not changing. I'm not talking about BMR. Your TDEE is basically referring to your muscle mass. Based upon your muscle mass, so lean muscle mass, your TDEE will increase. Why? Because your body burn more amount of calories to maintain a lean muscle mass. There is a client of mine. He's doing a. If you go on my Instagram page, you will see that there is a story by the name of Ramanjeet ji. Okay, and his stories they are pinned on the top of that my profile. So he was eating when he first started with me. Okay, we started at 85 kgs. We lost somewhere around 7 to 8 kgs. We started somewhere around 2000 calories. He was losing weight on 2000 calories with a pace of 700-800 gram every week. And his TDEE was around 2300-2400 when we started the first phase of his journey. Okay, we did the transformation well. We lost some 6-7 kgs. He's an old lifter. He has been working out from the last 25 years. Okay, from the last 25 years he has been working out from the age of 15-16 years, and a huge guy, but lost the activity levels for the last 2-3 years. He transformed well with me. We took a break. From the last 6 months, he has been working out continuously. He started his second transformation with me recently. Right now, that particular same individual loses weight at 3000 calories also. I gave him 3000 calories and he's losing more than 1 kg in a week on 3000 calories. Why? Because he has gained his lost muscle mass, which he has basically lost in the time of inactivity. But from the last 1.5 years, he has been continuously working out, maintaining his diet, doing properly, following his routine. He has gained a lot of muscle mass, and because he is an old lifter, experience of 25 years, okay, he has gained very quickly the muscle mass. So now his body is responding in a very different way. In the same person, I have seen two different journeys. A person losing weight on 2000 calories, maintaining at 2300. A person losing weight on 3000 calories right now. Okay, so why it is happening? Because his body composition has changed. Now the tables have turned, and still again the second transformation, we started at the same weight of 85 kgs. Still, if I put it into the calculator, the numbers will come same like it was before. But when I have tried it, tested it on the ground level on him, did the work basically with him, work with him, I have realized that no, now the TDE has increased. Now he has basically need more calories to maintain that muscle mass. That's why I told you it a lot of things which happen inside the body and outside the body decides how your TDE levels will vary. Okay, so you always try and test it on the ground. Everyone clear?
Yeah.
Is everyone clear? Any doubts here?
So how does
body
hormonal
recomposition
imbalances?
Wait. Yeah, one by one.
बॉडी रिकॉम्पोजिशन में थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है जो अभी लास्ट आपने समझाया उसमें
बॉडी रिकॉम्पोजिशन का मतलब होता है a 75 kg person initially was maintaining a 30% body fat, okay, and maybe just taking a random number, 25% muscle mass, okay, lean muscle mass. After the workout, like for example, let's give the example of a daughter. After a certain time period, when the person start lifting weight, doing workout, following a healthy routine, still maintaining 75 kgs or 74 kgs weight, body fat percentage is 10%, maybe muscle mass has become 45%. This is the phase we call a body recomposition. That around the same weight, you are losing on fat, you are gaining on muscle mass. And this usually happens in case of a beginner, generally, or a very advanced athlete. Okay, does not happen in case of a intermediate athlete or a person who has been working out from the last 6-8 months. Generally happens in case of a advanced athlete or a beginner. Advanced athlete, those who have basically were doing the workout for a long time, like my own client, for a long time, but left the workout because of a certain health issues or anything, and now gained fat. So when he start losing weight, he will get this into body recomposition phase very easily. That you are doing both the things at the same time. That's for body recomposition. So when you gain more amount of muscle mass, your body needs more, your body burn more amount of calories to sustain that muscle mass, because your muscles and all the time your muscles basically need energy for the repair and recovery.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
There's any other doubt?
Yeah, how does hormonal imbalances actually affect TDE? Do we need more TDE or less?
Sorry, Indra, I didn't get the question.
How do imbalances like thyroid and all affect the TDEE, TDW?
See, these things affect your metabolism. For example, we are talking about the thyroid only. Thyroid affects your metabolism. Thyroid is a hormone which is responsible to maintain your metabolism at a right pace. If you go about reading the hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, you will realize that it is disturbing your metabolism. Okay, it increase your metabolism or decrease your metabolism. The moment your metabolism increases or decreases, it's going to impact how much calories you're going to burn. And it's not as simple as I'm explaining. Obviously, it's a complex section. Similar things goes along with your, for example, in case of a diabetes. If a person is insulin resistant, whatever the calories you are eating, your body is not going to burn those calories, because that amount of glucose is not going inside your cells. So your energy burn process has reduced. Okay. So again, whenever there is a hormonal imbalance, whatever that those hormones are supposed to do the work, they're not doing that particular work properly, it is going to impact your energy levels. That's why people with a
So we
thyroid
know
usually
that.
feel weak, lazy, lethargy. Even in case of diabetes, people feel lazy or lethargy because body is not producing enough energy.
Okay. So we will know that only by actually trying it.
So
Like what is our
yeah,
TDEE?
so we always do the TDEE. It's a simple way of doing it is to get the calculator, put the values, get a tentative value, but don't rely on the value too much. You always can test and try. You always see that what the actual number is. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
for a weight loss journey, you cannot go below the BMR, as I mentioned before. For a weight loss, I'm talking about. You cannot go above the TDEE because you will gain weight. It's a surplus. You always have to remain between the BMR and TDEE. How low you want to go below BMR and TDEE? That's your call. Your BMR is 1800. Your TDEE is 2500. You want to start your journey from 1800 calories? Absolutely okay. No issues. You want to start at 2400? Absolutely okay. No issues. You want to start at 2000? Absolutely okay. No issues. It depends upon where you want to start your journey. How huge deficit you want to create. You will start at 1800. There might be a little bit issues because you are not so used to drop down your food suddenly. You might be starting at 2400. It is more comfortable, but the results will be slow because the deficit will be slow. Okay, so the results will be slow. You might get demotivated or discouraged that okay यार results तो कुछ आ नहीं रहे, 2 हफ्ते हुए हैं, 400 ग्राम weight कम हुआ है. But you will be more able to stick to the diet because there is more food in your plate and you will feel much more relaxed and much more basically energetic. Okay, depends on person to person. But yes, between this 1800 to 2500, wherever you want to start, you can do it. Absolutely your call. Okay, so there is nothing wrong or nothing right. Above TDE, when we go for a weight gain journey, we go above TDE. Why above TDE? Because we want to gain weight. Again, if my calculator has told me 2500 is my TDEE, I started the person as 2700 calories, but just imagine this was not 2500, this was maybe actually this was 2000. What will happen on 2700? The person will start gaining weight drastically. The moment that person is gaining 1 to 1.5 kg of weight in a week, it is not a muscle gain, it is a fat gain that person is doing. And fat gain, trust me, is never healthy. You don't want your clients or you don't want yourself to gain 1 to 1.5 kg weight, okay, every week, because that is going to gain fat there inside the body, is going to impact their health markers. So we always keep a small deficit. If the calculator, what I personally do, if a calculator is telling me 2500 TDE, I start the person around 2300, 2400 on a safer side. I observe it for a week or 10 days. If there is any change in the weight, I might keep it for 1 week more to understand that what's the TDE or what's the average value. I have multiple clients with me who are on a weight gain journey because that's my journey own was weight gain from 46 to 66 kgs. So I have multiple clients with a weight gain journey. There are people whom I have started from 1800 calories and now they are taking 3500 calories in a day. But it's a slow journey. Understand, weight gain journey is a much more slower journey compared to a weight loss journey. You can lose 500, 700 grams of weight in a day, but you cannot gain 500, 700, 800 grams in a week because the moment you are gaining that much, there's a huge possibility you are only gaining fat. Okay. Everyone clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Say Anu के phone से मैं Amit this side, huh? Okay, you can like.
Okay, Amit. Okay. So, guys, we are done with the today's session. We talked about BMR, we talked about TDE. Okay. Now in the next session, I will talk about different diets. That what is your low carb diet, high carb diet, what is your keto diet, what are macros. In the actually basically next I'll try to cover up in the first one session. Otherwise, in the 2 sessions, I will cover up about the macros, protein, carbs, and fat, fiber, Okay, and then what is your different type of diets and dieting strategies? Okay, intermittent fasting क्या होता है? So that at least once we will get to the diet chart part, कि diet chart बनाना कैसे है? You guys should be knowing कि which type of a diet or diet strategy you want to follow, because there is nothing right or wrong over here. ऐसा नहीं है कि कीटो डाइट गलत है और हाई कार्ब डाइट अच्छी है, या मॉडरेट कार्ब गलत है और लो कार्ब डाइट अच्छी है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता. There is nothing called a right or a wrong. We will talk about different food things as well. People talk about healthy foods and superfoods. ये सब कुछ क्या होता है? We'll talk about those things. So this was all about calories, BMR, and TDE. Now we'll talk about the different macros. Then coming to the different diet and diet strategies, and then we will move towards the planning of a diet chart. Cool. Anyone has any doubt?
One thing, sir.
Yeah.
शायद वहां पे कुछ लैग हो गया था. I missed that. हाउ आपने BMR से TDE कैसे वो बनाया था?
BMR से
BMR into your eat, right?
नहीं BMR into your physical activity factor. Physical
वो
activity
क्या
factor
होगा?
फिजिकल एक्टिविटी
वो
फैक्टर
physical
वो बेसिकली फिजिकल एक्टिविटी फैक्टर आपको कैलकुलेट नहीं करना, कैलकुलेटर्स में ऑलरेडी फिल्ड अप होता है कि व्हाट्स योर फिजिकल एक्टिविटी फैक्टर. ओके, if you, for example, you mentioned that you're working out for 4 days in a day, it will give you a physical activity factor that your physical activity factor is 3.7, 4.2, 5.7, and then you multiply that with the BMR. So वो calculators में already filled up होता है. You just need to mention your activity levels over there.
Okay, fantastic.
वो सब कुछ equations में set है.
Right, sir. Got it.
Perfect. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. See you guys in the next session.